People ask us why we have our cylinder mounted on an angle, and there's a very simple explanation. It's because we don't have a centre pivot because we have the QuadRod linkage. Now, with a centre pivot, when you move one side, the opposite side is affected by the same amount, which means that both sides are being influenced simultaneously, which makes it very difficult to control the blade. The next best option is to have two cylinders like a conventional grader, which still influence each side, but not quite so bad. Or you have the sharp grade with the QuadRod linkage with no centre pivot, where the cylinders are mounted outboard and they can each move independently. So with a QuadRod linkage, the blade is pivoted off the other opposite side cylinder. So the further out you can have the cylinders, the less cross-coupling effect you get. So we want the cylinder to be mounted as far out as possible, but in doing so, if you mount the cylinder right out at the end, it means the operator's view is blocked from the rear of the blade, and this is quite an important area here to see. So what we do is we shift the mount of the cylinder in and the base of the cylinder or the rod out, so you get the cylinder out as far as possible and the cylinder mounted in as far as possible. Now, we can do this because we have our spherical bushes on each end, which are grease filled, sealed for life with silicone seals, and then shielded. And so these can handle more oscillation than any other conventional spherical, because they're to our design. And so they can handle being on an angle and still accommodate all of the movement. So that allows us to make the ultimate for the operator's vision and the ultimate for the lack of cross-coupling effect. Now, mounting a cylinder on an angle is only possible because of the QuadRod linkage. If you don't have a QuadRod linkage, it doesn't matter how you mount your cylinders. But because we have the QuadRod linkage and no centre pivot, it gives us a lot more control. And that's what it's all about. If you can control one side independent of the other, you can grade faster and more accurately. And so that's the reason why we put the cylinder right to the outside and think about the operator and put the mount on towards the inside, so they still get good visibility.